Linus Village Productions.
Welcome, Lloyd, back to Off Script. Hello, it's lovely
Your
to
podcast,
my
yeah.
podcast. No. It's lovely for us both to be here.
Yes, and welcome to you, Ben. Welcome to you.
Thank you. See, you've just got to do it back. Thanks,
Yeah.
Lloyd. Thanks for having me on. So today, how you
What are we
been?
talking about today?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, look, we can go straight into it if you're just so eager. I mean, yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I mean, we can talk about whatever you want. It's your show.
Yeah, I'm. Thanks, Lloyd. Thanks. No, I've been great. Thanks for asking. The topic of the day, the week, whatever you want to call it, our main discussion piece, is going to be touring, which actually, I'm going to flip it straight back to you because you're a bit of an expert on this. Not to boost your ego, not to make your head so big that you're not going to be able to leave your room, but you've got some experience in this, haven't you? Whereas I don't really. So talk. I think I've got a few questions for you rather than actually rather than a back and forth.
Yeah.
So you mentioned in our first episode that you've done a little bit of touring for just a small local company, right? Disney. So I guess talk us through how that was, because that's something I've not experienced.
Well, I'd say for Disney, the focus was less on. Well, when you say touring, it was traveling.
Okay.
It was essentially I was traveling for work. I was working for Disney Cruise Line.
Yeah.
And basically I would travel from Manchester to Florida, and I'd be on the entertainments team.
The short journey.
Yeah. No, it was good. I was part of the entertainment team, so I was seeing Mickey. I was seeing everyone quite regularly. All the big names.
The big three.
It was such an amazing experience because I got to travel like the world as well as entertain for loads and loads of different people, like American markets, and I met people from all over the world that I worked with personally, like people from South Africa, people from Canada, people from the States, people from France, Spain, Germany.
Wow, I mean, I guess. So where did you? So you're on a cruise, right? So I imagine you docked at ports. Was it a situation where? And I've never been on a cruise before, but is it a situation where they start somewhere and then they do a full lap and then they get back off at where they came from, or is it a situation of that you pick people up at each port?
It depends on what kind of cruise you do, but the ones we were doing, it was very much a you get on in Florida. You get on in the middle of Florida, the coast of Florida, and then
up the river.
Yeah. And then we went to the Bahamas. We went to Nassau, and then we went to Disney's private island, Castaway Cay, and then back.
I didn't realize they had a pirate. I did not realize they had a private island.
Yeah, I mean technically, I don't know if they've got two now technically, but yeah, they've got Castaway Cay, which is their private island, and then they've got then they go back to Florida, and that was the Disney Wish itinerary. So that was 3 and 4 days. And essentially what I was doing was I was in the entertainment team, so I would be running like trivias or quizzes, and then I'd be doing game shows for them, and I'd be hosting Learn to Draw, so I would be doing art classes with them as well as like karaoke and hosting generally.
Right. Okay. So it wasn't just like one performance a night. It was you would do a few little things throughout the day.
Every day, yeah.
Right. Okay.
So I was working every day, and we did the sail away shows as well. So we had to like learn choreography for the sail away shows and such.
What's a sail away show?
So when the guests get on board for the first day. It's kind of like a celebration as they leave the port of call for the first time, and that's when the sail away show happens.
Right. Okay.
And that's what we would dance in as well.
So that's like the big welcome to the cruise. This is kind of the experience that you're going to get Right. Okay.
Yeah, this is the vibe. Yeah, I mean, you meet like Mickey, Donald, Daisy, Pluto, Goofy, Minnie, like all of them at the Sail Away show.
Right. Okay.
And like I got to know them all pretty well. I mean, even backstage, you could see them and say hello to them. And I met Spider-Man on like loads of occasions.
I remember the first day you met Spider-Man, you sent me a message, and I think it was like 3:00 in the morning for me, because obviously it was middle of the day for you, and I just got this. I woke up in the morning to this message being like, "Guess what? I've met Spider-Man." And actually, do you know what? I'm taking the mick, but actually, I was very jealous.
The magic is so real. It's so real that like that Spider-Man has said hello to me. In the same way that Mickey Mouse has told me to jump off the ship because I liked the I like the live action Lion King, and he was like, he did this thing and went
jump off, lovely.
Jump off. So after I did the Disney Wish, I was then asked to be part of the opening team for the Disney Treasure in 2020.
And that was their new ship, right?
Yeah, so that was their newest ship, which maiden voyage was in December 2024. And then basically I came home for like 5 weeks, and then I got on an airplane to Amsterdam, and the hotel I was staying in was about half an hour away from Anne Frank's house,
Nice.
Which I would have loved to have gone to, but you've got to pre-book way in advance, obviously.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I went to Amsterdam, and then from there we went from Amsterdam to Mallorca, and then Mallorca. We did the transatlantic to New York, and then from New York we went to Florida, and we were basically setting up the ship and doing our entertainment roles for sort of like execs and
the people who are paying your wages, essentially. See, making sure it's
people.
Yeah.
Well, we thought. Well, I mean, Bob Iger. I don't know if you know who Bob Iger is.
Yeah, totally know who, but no, I have no idea. I have no idea.
Bob Iger is the one at the top of the Disney pyramid. He's
right,
like,
okay, yeah. I don't know Disney much, unfortunately, but CEO sort of person who makes decisions. Got it. Cool.
The big guy. Yeah, the big guy.
So to Bob Iger, who's clearly listening to our little podcast, I'm so sorry that I didn't know who you are, but I have been rightfully rectified by one of your excellent cast, of course. You should totally have him back.
I would happily go back. I really enjoyed it. It was such an experience, and I've met people that I wouldn't have met before.
And I guess
the entertainment was fantastic.
Yeah, and I guess that leads me on to my next question, really, which is, so like you're out there, 3, 4, 5, 6 months at a time.
You average about 4.5 to 5 months in entertainment.
Yeah.
4.5 to 5 months.
So how did you find it out there? And I guess one of my questions is, how does... Let's start with the thing that everyone wants to know when you're touring. How does money work out there? Like, how was the pay? Like, did you have to budget? Did you have to go with some pre-allocated funds? Or, like, what?
So, no, you don't really... Not for Disney. You didn't have to, because Disney... basically, you get paid. And you can either have it sent directly to your current account.
Okay.
Or you can sort of like split it, and then it goes onto an onboard credit account, in which you can either keep that open or close it. But I kept mine open because I wanted to have money to spend on the ship.
Right. Okay. So you sort of use that in onboard credit to sort of buy food and drinks and.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So you would siphon off a small portion of your like monthly pay. And it would go onto your cruise account so that you could buy things on board.
And did you need to do that, or could you have just paid with your card? Or would it have hit like transaction
you
limits?
You can pay with your card, like in like guest area. If you wanted to go to a guest area shop, you can pay with your card. But if you want to pay for something at the crew bar,
it's all in credit.
It's all in your credit, yeah.
Right. Okay.
It was really cool because we go up to deck 14, which is the crew bar, which is open until like I think like 2 a.m. Or something like that. Something stupid. But you've got to be really careful about like your blood alcohol and stuff like that because they're really strict about that.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, great transition, Lloyd. Well done. I'm so proud of you. You clearly are a master of this. Yeah. What restrictions were put on you while you were touring or traveling? Like you mentioned there, like your blood alcohol. Were they quite strict with that? Was it something they tested for? Like what was the vibe?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you were like, it depends. Like after you've had like a night on the crew bar and you'd be walking back, if they were like, they saw, they saw you and you were being an idiot,
Drunk.
really.
Yeah.
You know, like outwardly, they would breathalyze you and see like what's going on there.
Right. Okay.
And they were really strict. I don't want to go too much into that.
Okay.
But
No,
yeah,
that's
they were
fine.
really strict.
But it's something you got to be aware of. You can't, like when you're touring, you essentially and you were working nearly every day, right, on the ship.
I was working every day.
Yeah, working every day, and
Yeah.
and really, it's a nice chunk of money. It's a great experience, but you are working every single day, and I imagine you've got to be aware of that when you're sort of in your downtime, that you can't, like when you're working a normal job, you work Monday to Friday, and then you got the weekend off, and you can, you maybe go out and have a bit of a fun time. But like when you're on a ship or when you're touring around the UK or whatever that might be, you essentially got to be in the back of your mind. I might be on stage tomorrow, or even I will be on stage. I will be on stage tomorrow. And so I guess you've got to be a little bit careful. But I guess sort of more on the physical and vocal side of it. How do you, or have you got any top tips on how to stay physically healthy and vocally strong while working every single day for however long?
It's really about nutrition.
Okay, eating well.
And it's about sleep. Yeah, so you get as much sleep as you can. Like while I was working abroad, I was sleeping as much as I could. While I still wanted to experience everything, I knew that I needed my rest, as well as eating. Like in the canteen, you've got to make sure that you're getting your food groups because you need the energy to be able to sustain it for that long. Like I was working. I mean, my earliest working day would start at like 7 or 8 o'clock, and then the latest I would finish on any given day could be 11 in the evening.
Right, so you're working more than sort of 12 hours a day then, really. I'm assuming you're not working all the time. I'm assuming you're getting
you have regular breaks throughout. Yeah, you have regular breaks throughout, but it's like, I mean, and that there's no. I'm not saying that you work 6 till 11 in the evening. That's not. Like, but what I'm saying is that the earliest you will work is that, and the latest you will work is that. You're not going to do that every day.
No.
But yeah, it was about getting as much, just getting the sleep that you need, while being able to experience the great things you're going to be able to experience while working for them, as well as just getting the nutrition that you can as well. Regular eating times. If you can eat at a regular time, it's really helpful.
Okay, so
that's what I found.
Eating well, sleeping well. Was there a gym on board? Did you exercise?
Yes,
Is that something that was accessible to? I'm assuming that's something that was. I'm assuming that in the crew quarters there was a crew gym.
Yes, there was. Yeah, I once saw the gym.
You once saw the gym in your 6-7 months of traveling.
I was doing it for about a year. I saw the gym. They had an Easter egg hunt around the ship at one point.
So you went to go find your chocolate in the gym. Right, got it. Excellent. Like I mean, the gym, as you know, a lot of people use that for their own mental health, and traveling for long periods of time can be a bit lonely sometimes, unless you've got like a solid group of friends that you're touring with, or people that you know really well, or in your case I believe you went with your partner. I think you were quite lucky though, if I understand correctly.
We were very lucky. Very lucky.
I guess my question is how did, and both positive and negative, how did touring sort of affect your mental health and your relationships, and how did you sort of overcome the struggles that come along with that? Because I mean, like, one year you were away for Christmas, right? So you were on deck, right? So that must have been a big time for you. So how did you sort of combat that, or what tips and tricks have you got to try and mitigate it?
Well, I think working away for Christmas was not on that occasion was not a problem for me because
Okay.
I was experiencing something new. It was a long day, but it was a wonderful day because I was experiencing new things at every point of the day, and guests knew that it was Christmas and they knew we were working and they were nicer about it. Um, yeah, it can get quite. I won't say lonely. It will get like
Texting.
you're aware of the fact you're
Yeah.
away from family for such a long time. And for me, I did miss family a lot, and I missed being around, everyone here. But I also had the opportunity to make so many amazing friends while I was there, and
Right,
we
okay.
had such a tight group. I mean, I've got more there. Well, I've got this. This was my first team that
Okay.
I met when I first arrived. That was my first team, and they're all wonderful people. Wonderful, wonderful people.
For our audio listeners, Lloyd is pointing off to his right at a framed photo.
I'm pointing at the framed photograph on my desk.
I'd
on
like
my
you to
hand.
describe it like we're in stage directions. No, but that's great, and I think I guess the thing to look at then is on the positive side is you're always going to find your troop.
Yes.
Wherever you go, whatever you do, and I guess the other side of that, and I imagine. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but everyone's in it together. Everyone's experienced the same stuff.
Yeah.
Some people it's their first time, like it was for you, and for others, it might be their 20th. There's going to be different ranges of experience, but everyone's sort of, ironically, everyone's in the same boat together.
Yeah.
And I think I think that's really important.
Actually, I'll tell you this. One of the assistant cruise director at the time of the Disney Wish and then the Disney Treasure, who I kind of followed over there. She said she gave me the best advice that I could have ever have heard. Whenever life gets me so stressed or I get worried about stuff or anything, she used to say to me, she just said, "It's not that deep."
Okay.
Nothing is that deep. And it really put my mind at ease because I thought, well, it isn't. And that really helped me. When things got a little bit tough on the ship or when things get a little bit tough at home, her words always come back to me and it says, "It's not that deep."
No,
And it makes me feel so much better.
Yeah.
It's nice. That's just something I want to share with you.
No, she's right. I mean, and I think you've just got to. I imagine you don't have to be mentally strong, but you have to be able to pick yourself up. I think a lot of the time, whether you're touring, whether you're at home, whether you're doing a local production, there are going to be things that get you down. It is going to be tough. You might have a rough night. A show might not go how you want it to go. And I think you, as actors, we might do auditions that we don't get, or we might go long periods of time without getting jobs, and as an actor and as a performer, you've just got to be able to pick yourself up and keep going. Because I think if you can't, then you're going to really struggle. I wouldn't say you're not going to make it in the industry, but you are going to certainly struggle in the industry because there's going to be times, and even, I mean, there's many different actors who are big names who have talked about this, that even when they have made it, and they're in productions and they're doing stuff, when they don't get the roles they want, it can be really hard, And I think you've just got to pick yourself up, and I think. Or the vibe that I get in touring, you've kind of got to do that yourself because you don't necessarily have your friends and family around you, so you've got to be a bit more independent with that sort of stuff. What steps did you take to get onto the ship? Like how was the audition process? Like what was that like? Where did you go? Did you go through an agent? Did you go through like a company? Like what did you go directly to Disney? Like what did that look like for you?
So, ironically, surprisingly, we were really unhappy because before I did Disney, I was working as a vocalist and entertainer at a holiday park. So I was doing like cabarets and sets, and I was doing other entertainment like game shows, which is kind of in the same vein.
Same ball.
So anyway, I was just we wanted to change, both of us, because we were working the same jobs back then as well together, and we wanted to change, and we wanted to go. I wanted to try cruise lines, so I wanted to see what it would be like. So we both said, okay, let's both try and do that. Not thinking we would necessarily get the same one.
Yeah.
But we both applied for Disney through Facebook.
Through Facebook?
Through Facebook.
Oh, that's not one I've heard for.
So it was it was an advert on Facebook. We clicked on it, and then we went through a recruitment agency called Excellent Recruitment, and basically they helped us through the process. We had, I think, 2 auditions. I think it was 2 auditions with Excellent Recruitment.
Okay.
And then the 3rd audition was with Disney personnel. So you do your first 2, and then Disney get involved in the 3rd one. And then I think this is I cannot remember. I think it is the process. And then you get the role, and then basically you get put on a waiting list to see when there's going to be a vacancy on which ship, and then they will just ship you.
Right, so you don't go straight onto a ship. You get put onto a list that says, "Oh, we like these people. If something comes up, we'll send you out." Okay. How long were you on the list for then? Like, was it a long process, short process?
It was a long process. I think for me, I think it was about 3 months.
Oh right, okay.
I waited.
Yeah.
I got onto the Disney Wish in November 2023.
Right. Okay.
And I think I first applied for the job in the January.
Right. Okay.
So it was a long process from applying to getting it, and then getting it to getting on the ship.
Okay.
And obviously we both applied, and we were both successful, and we both got on the same ship. And at that point, there were 5 ships.
Yeah, that's quite. Yeah, I mean that is quite. I mean, you said it before. That's quite lucky to get that. How how much communication was there between you being offered the role and then being told you're getting on? Were they communicative, or was it kind of just like, hey, we'll let you know when something comes up? And the reason why I ask is because, like, do you have to reach out and be like, hey, is there anything, or have you just got to trust the process?
No, you trust the process. They will always come to you. Yeah, they will always come to you. But it was a long time, but eventually it happened. They reached out, and then they arrange all your flights.
Okay.
So my flights were all arranged. I didn't pay for them. You just get sent through ticket details, and then you turn up to the airport, you get your flight, and then you fly out.
And if I remember correctly, like when you told me you'd got the role, it was quite a quick turnaround from when you'd been told, hey, look, you're going on the ship to, hey, your flights are ready. It was like 4 days, 5 days or something.
It was quick. It was quick.
Really quick. Yeah. So how was that experience going over to? Because it was Florida, wasn't it? The way you did your training.
Yeah, it was Orlando, Florida.
So you flew out there. So you get the part. You wait 3-4 months. You get told, yep, we've got a ship ready for you. Your flights are in 4 days. You get out to Florida, and then you did rehearsals in Florida. You didn't get straight onto a ship.
So you go to the hotel. You get to the hotel, and then you've got to do a week's sort of like course on like basically pre-stuff that you need to know, and then after that week, like we did a course, like a 2-day course in water where you had to learn to flip a life raft.
Oh right, so yeah, they give you the safety stuff as well, which is good.
Yeah, you get in the water and you do all these like things, and you've got to prove that by yourself you've got to be able to flip a life raft before you can get on the ship.
Okay,
we did that, and then sort of like after that week's done, you go to Disneyland, and you see the park, you get your badge, and then the next day, sort of like the once like a week maybe, a week after you land in America, you get on the ship.
Wow. Okay.
And then the first day you're there is the first day you work.
Oh right, so there's no like, hey, you're now on the ship for a few days, climatize, get used to the performance spaces. It's like, hey, day one.
No,
day one.
Very much.
Yeah. Okay.
It was very much like you get.
I guess that's touring, and I mean from the experience that I've had. Now I've not done any touring, but I've worked with people that have done a lot of touring. I've worked with directors who have done touring, and we've got friends that have done touring, right? And I think the thing that we always hear from them is that it's a very quick turnaround as well for that. Even if it's not Disney, you get 3-4 weeks to to learn the script, like to learn the performance from you, and then once those 4 weeks are done, you are into your first theatre, and that's it. There's no like, I think you might get a dress run like the day of the show, and that's it. But you've got to be ready, and you've got to know it. And I think what's really interesting is you've got to do that for every new theatre that you go to. You know, there's no there's no, hey, let's give it a week, we'll train in this new space. It's, hey, you're in a new space that's got new blocking, that's got new, stage stuff. Like, it might not be as big, it might be smaller, it might be wider, longer, whatever that may be. You've just got to deal with it. This is the new blocking. You've got 6 hours to smash it. Go. And I think if anyone's interested in doing touring, you've got to be ready for that.
I imagine that you do, and that it's the get-ins, the get-outs, it's the quick turnarounds. It's so important to be on the ball, I think, with that, and I think it's adaptability. You've got to be able to adapt.
I definitely agree with that, and especially and you've got to think as well, like, you might be an understudy, you might not be, you may have got onto the cast, but you might not be the main part, that's acting, right? But if your cast is an understudy, and that main role becomes free because they've, I mean, we've just had a friend that's broken her ankle touring, and the understudy's got to be ready to step in at a moment's notice. They may have done, the tour may be 12 weeks long, and you've done 11 of those weeks in the chorus, and now you've got to do 1 week in the front. You've got to be ready for that, And I think,
well, actually, it's funny that you mentioned that. I just my family went to go and see Six.
Oh yeah.
The other day, and one of my friends who I used to work at the holiday park that I was I mentioned as a vocalist. One of our friends from there is in the tour, the national tour of Six.
Ooh, very nice.
And she's a swing.
Yeah.
And I've got so much respect for people that do swings or like understudy roles, because you're not doing it necessarily every day, but you have to know it, like inside and out. And in Six as well, it's so, the harmonies are so tight, so like everything's timed to perfection, and she did a superb job. And I just wanted to say, like, when we went to go see her and we went to see the whole production, it was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. So I've got loads of respect for people that just step in and do it.
Yeah, and you've got to do that performance the same or as close to the same every single night and give the same experience. Doesn't matter how you're feeling. If you're in a new role, if you're in a new space, like, you've just got to be ready to do that, right? And I think that's what at least my takeaway from it. I guess just sort of wrapping up this segment then, is there any last tips or tricks when it comes to sort of traveling or touring or being unfamiliar with your environment when it comes to sort of acting that you would like to, that you think is potent to sort of touch on, or do you think that we've touched everything? Do you think that we've
No, I think as a final thing I'd say it's make sure you found the right people. Because the people make it every single time. And in bad patches, you've got to remember to find the little joys. Find the little things, the little joys that will make your day better. If you're not necessarily feeling particularly happy at that stage, it's the little things. It's always the little joys, and it's the people.
Nice. And that moves us on to our next segment, which actually is going to be historical moments, elevator pitch. So what we're going to be doing is we've got some historical moments that we as creatives think would be a really good sort of TV show or stage production or movie that hasn't already been made, or at least to our knowledge hasn't already been made. And basically we've got 2-3 minutes to come up with essentially, we're talking to an executive, and we're like, hey, you're trapped in an elevator with me, you're going up to the 20th floor. While I've got you, yeah, boom. While I've got you, I'm gonna talk about this. So yeah, it's just a little segment just to flex our creative brains. and get us thinking about some interesting historical moments. So Lloyd, have you got one? I've got one. I'm happy to.
I've got one.
You've got one. Do you want to go first, or would you like to hear what my historical moment is?
I fear that if we start on yours, we won't ever stop.
Look, I've got to use my history degree somewhere.
Yes, of course. And you've got to plug the fact that you've got a history degree.
I will in fact mention it in every single episode of this podcast.
Yes, I know. Yes, I know. Well, you can if you'd like to start. You're more than welcome to start.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. I will. I'll keep it as brief as I possibly can. Okay, so we've pressed the emergency stop button. I've freaked out the guy. We've calmed him down. We've gone, look, I'm not here. I'm not here to rob you. I'm just here to give you a pitch. I'm really, really sorry. Yeah, come on. Hello, Mr. Executive. I'm really sorry. Okay, so my pitch is it's a TV show, and actually it's 5 seasons of a TV show. I'm pitching your next Game of Thrones, your next Lost Kingdom, that kind of vibe, and it's called Kingmaker, right? Dramatic, It's about a landless knight that becomes the most powerful man, or one of the most powerful men in England, and not by like taking the throne or taking any power, but because he's the one that keeps it together, right? So, picture Game of Thrones, picture Lost Kingdom, that sort of political intrigue, warfare, medieval England. We're looking at our main character, William Marshall. He's the youngest son of a low-ranking noble. He's basically sort of discarded. When he's born, his father goes into a rebellion that loses, and actually William is giving over to the current king as a hostage. And by the age of 5, William's father doesn't care that he's hostage and actually joins the next rebellion. And as punishment, they take the king sort of says, right, as punishment, your son is going to be executed. So William is taken as a child, 5-6 years old, to the gallows that are outside the castle that his father is defending, as sort of a real big statement. And as they're leading him up to the gallows, he sort of happens to pass this knight in typical shining, strong shining armor, tabard with all the historical stuff, heraldry, big sword. And William is enamored with this, and actually he breaks away from his captors and runs over, and actually, because he's 5, they haven't got him in chains or anything, he runs over to this knight and goes, sir, and starts like fanboying all over this knight, and actually asks if he can hold his sword. And this knight turns out to be the siege commander, the person in charge of everybody, and actually he takes pity on William and realizes this is just a 5-year-old boy, and actually calls off the execution against the order of the king, and actually takes him under his sort of wardship a little bit until the siege is over. Now, and that sets him off on a completely different path. I mean, this young boy was meant to be nobody, discarded, possibly killed, and he takes him and saves him. And William's father loses in the rebellion, and as part of that, William is still a hostage, and he's sent off to northern France. And at this point in England's history, we have conquered most of France. We own, at least half of France, and so he's raised in France, and he grows up, and all he wants to do is be this knight, and he becomes a tournament knight, and he becomes one of the greatest tournament knights France has ever seen. He basically like our kind of UFC champion. And he goes around and he competes in all of these different tournaments, and he keeps winning. And he keeps getting money from these tournaments and different horses and different pieces of armor. And eventually he catches the eye of the current Queen of England, who is out there. And she takes him into her revenue as her personal bodyguard. And that sets off him serving the kings of England for the next 5 kings. Right, so think he's nobody. That's like episode 1, 2, right? And then every single season is him serving a different king, and he serves Henry II, which is putting down rebellions. He serves Richard the Lionheart in the Crusades. He serves King John, in the Magna Carta and dealing with all that.
Yeah.
And finally his last is Henry III, the boy king, who becomes king at about 11 years old. And actually, by this point, he has become the second in command. He is the knight that everyone seems to trust. He ends up marrying way above his station. He gets given land in northern England and Ireland and France, and he becomes this powerful man. But he becomes the uncorruptible, loyal servant to the throne, and it's always to the throne. And there's this one moment where he is, just before he stops serving King Henry II and starts serving Richard. His philosophy is loyalty to the throne, no matter what anyone thinks.
Okay.
And there's a civil war between Henry II and his son Richard the Lionheart, who thinks I should be king by this point, And Henry is losing, and nobles who have supported Henry start flocking to Richard. But William won't do that. William serves his king to the very end. And there's a point in France where Henry's on the run. The war is all but lost, and Henry, Richard's forces are just trying to mop up Henry's army. And in a desperation, Richard the Lionheart and a few individuals of his court charge the camp where Henry is staying, and Richard isn't wearing any armor. He's so desperate on getting his father, he's just gone with a spear and a horse, and that's it. Whereas Henry's retinue and William are all dressed in full regalia, full knights. They're ready for a fight, and William sends his king and the personal bodyguard away and takes Richard on himself, and turns and actually stands in the path on his horse, seeing the future king, the prince, galloping towards him, and he takes off, and they charge. And William's been a tournament knight for years at this point, and one of the best as well. And so he's in full armor, and the prince is not. And he makes a choice. Rather than killing Richard, he stabs his horse, and as the story goes, he stabs his horse, and in one motion he grabs the back of the prince's neck and dismounts him from his horse safely and plonks him on the ground, turns back and follows Henry, leaves him there just by himself, and leaves him there. And about 6 months later, Henry ends up dying of ill health, and William is one of the only nobles and loyal soldiers left of Henry. The minute he dies, all of his servants steal all of his things and run off to Richard. William and the ones who remain prepare the body in a church, and Richard, who is now the king, comes to see his father. And William is stood at the head of the tomb, and Richard comes up. And as much as Richard has been wanting to kill his father and chase his father down, actually in this moment there's a moment of grief. He realizes, this is my father, this is actually a really sad thing. And he looks up to William and he says, I'm surprised a knight such as yourself couldn't end an unarmed combatant. Talking about himself. And William looks up and says, my grace, if I wanted to kill you, I could, but I didn't want to put a wound against England. And he bows his head. And William is ready to be sort of executed or banished or whatever that is. But Richard, seeing this person who is loyal to the throne and knows that he's now king, William will be loyal to him. And so Richard comes around, puts his hand on his shoulder and says, come along, William, we've got things to do, and takes him into his personal retinue. And that is how it continues to be. The next king sees that William is the most loyal to the throne, and doesn't matter how much he fought against that previous king or part of the enemy, they take him under, and he navigates them and actually becomes like the tutor of future kings, and like teaches them how to govern and how to fight, and actually trains one of them. And finally, the boy king, he's actually put as the king regent. While Henry III is growing up, William Marshall is actually put in command of England and trains the boy and teaches him how to govern. And at the age of 70, I think 75, He dies peacefully after fighting civil wars, crusades, everything, rebellions. He dies peacefully with all of his family around him, and his last will and testament is to be buried with the Templar Knights that he joined on the crusade with Richard the Lionheart as a protector of the path. And that's how his story ends. And I think it would be an incredible thing to sort of see go from warfare to political intrigue over 5 seasons, each season being a different king that he serves.
Yeah.
I think that would be... that's my pitch.
Sounds really good.
That's my
You've really
pitch.
painted the picture well.
Thank you. And that's my pitch. I think the Kingmaker. And not because he takes the throne, not because he puts people on the throne, but because he educates and keeps them together, and he becomes nearly every single king's right-hand man.
I think that's really close. I think that's a really good idea, that.
Yeah. So if anyone's listened to this, I copyright that now. That's my that's my story.
Your intellectual property.
Yeah. But yeah, William Marshall, known as the greatest knight of England. Yeah,
That's really good.
so that's my elevator pitch.
Yeah.
Oh, I see that the doors have opened now. Thank you, Fire Brigade. You can now leave, Mr. Executive. Please don't arrest me.
No, that's brilliant.
but
yeah,
yeah.
that's great.
Cool. What's yours?
So I was thinking we could go for more of a collaborative approach to this one,
Ooh,
because I
okay.
think the idea that I've got, I think could be expanded by both of us.
Okay, cool.
I think it plays to both our strengths. I've got the thing here because I've been making notes and such. So in 1518,
Okay, cool.
there was a dance plague. I'm not sure if you know about this.
Oh, I do know about this.
Yeah.
Go on.
So it saw its citizens of the French city Strasbourg reportedly dancing uncontrollably for days on end with fatal results. Now it continues to baffle people that this is reportedly to have happened, and basically I'll just go through a couple of the things with you. So it starts with a lady who just starts dancing. She just begins to dance, and at first people thought it was curious, so they watched by an unusual public display.
Yeah.
They watch her, but she can't stop. She dances for nearly a week. She falls occasionally because of exhaustion, and then experiences pain, hunger, obviously shame. There's no music, and her heart keeps the tempo.
Right. Okay.
So
yeah.
she's dancing, and then people start to join her, and they dance until they die.
So are we thinking like a macabre musical?
Now, I wasn't thinking of music. I was thinking a dramatic TV fantasy series.
Okay.
So I think you could pull a bit of a D&D thing into this.
Oh, okay.
Because
So
this
we're not
sounds
we're not
awful.
staying in reality. We're making it a bit fantasy.
No, this is fantasy.
Okay, let's
I'm
go. I'm ready.
picturing, for any listeners that don't know, there's a spell in D&D called Otto's Irresistible Dance.
Yeah.
Now, I think there's some way for a hag to have started to mess with reality and started casting these spells. And I like the idea that it's sort of like a gritty, sort of like almost dark fantasy drama that suddenly gets a weird sort of like humorous uplift.
Ooh, so like halfway
And then
through,
all
like
of a sudden-
the genre changes.
Yeah, so it's like
okay.
dark, gritty.
Okay.
Then suddenly, for some unexpected reason, there's a light-hearted dance, and it looks like for the first time in a long time in this dreary, dark fantasy realm,
They're
there's a little
celebrating.
bit of light,
Yeah.
a little bit of hope, because some people just start dancing for no reason, and it makes people happy. And the more happy people feel, the more they dance. The more they dance, the more they can't stop.
Right.
And then it slowly gets darker and darker and darker until people start
Dropping.
and dying.
Okay.
And I really like this sort of like macabre idea that it gets a bit, but suddenly everything's okay again. But then it all comes crashing down again.
Okay.
And I like the
it.
idea it's a spellcaster that's doing it.
I like
And like it reminds me of, Avatar: The Last Airbender,
Yep.
the blood bending.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. That sort
That's
of vibe.
what I've got in my head.
Okay.
And I think, because no one knows why that happened.
No.
They call it a dance sort of like plague. And no one knows why people just started dancing. and couldn't stop.
No.
And like that, if for someone in 15, 18, that's got to be terrifying because witches are still a thing, if not becoming more and more of a thing again, you know, and people just start like even we now. I don't think can explain what happened there.
I don't think they know. No, and no, I like the idea that it's a fantasy. I like the idea that you're right. It's a hag. It's something. There's something. I like the idea that it's gritty, and then it goes to light, and then suddenly, oh no, that's not light. That's just even darker than it was before.
It's even darker than we thought before.
I really like it. Do you have a name for this? Is it a TV show? Like season
I was
show,
thinking
movie?
TV show.
Okay.
I was thinking but I'm thinking limited series.
Okay, small, like an English, like a British. Yeah. Okay, what have we got a name for this?
I haven't thought of anything yet. I was hoping you could probably come up with something with that.
Oh God.
But, yeah, so it just goes on to say that many theories have been brought up to explain what happened, but it's still an event that grips us. No one really knows what happened, and it's just strange.
Interesting.
The idea of having that's what scares me about it. That's why I like the dark theme. The idea that you can't control your own body,
right?
And it's just scary.
Taking it, you've using the inspiration that you gave me from D&D.
Right.
There is a spell called Dance Macabre. Why do you call it that? Dance Macabre.
Dance Macabre.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I like it. I like it.
It's a nice idea, isn't it? And I think it would work as a limited series. So something that's not going to stick around for a long time, but something that might make an impact.
Yeah.
Drudgery. Like you're mixing the Middle Ages and the absolute horror of that time and a fantasy setting. And I like that idea. And it's people trying to get on with their lives, but something is messing with them.
I like that. Yeah, I like it. And it could be a mystery. It doesn't have to be a hag. It could just be you could take the real life inspiration and just be at least at the end of the first season,
Yeah.
You have no idea what it is, and your main character is your main character's trying to fix it. I like it. Well done, Lloyd.
Thanks.
Well done. I really enjoyed that one. Yeah, two very different shows there. So if anyone is out there, any casting directors.
Oh yeah, I copyright it.
We clearly copyright it, and if you want to use it, you've got to pay us large sums of money.
Yes,
and we've got to be casting it. We've got to be casting it. Well, that takes us on to our final segment of the episode, which is our cold read. As people should know from the last episode, we're big into cold reads. We think everyone should do them as practice, and it's a chance for us to show you some scripts and just sort of show you what that looks like in a cold read setting. Yeah. So today we have got The Envelope by one of our the envelope by one of our friends that wants to stay anonymous. So. Yeah, I can see that we've got Miles and Caleb and some stage directions.
Yes.
Are you happy being Caleb?
I'm happy to be Caleb. Okay. Yeah, not a worry at all.
Okay, I'll do the stage direction then, and I'll be Miles. Miles and Caleb.
So it just says the character says Caleb, late 30s. Directions for him are controlled, tired, and sharp-eyed.
Okay, so we've got some character, we've got some direction. Yeah. Okay. Miles, early 30s, jittery, smart, masking fear with jokes. Okay, right. Okay, cool. And I like that because sometimes you do get the stage directions in that. Sometimes you do get.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So the setting is a small, dim back office behind a closed storefront. One overhead bulb, a metal desk, a window with blinds, and rain that tinks faintly against glass, and a wall clock that is audible, and it's just too loud. The room is quiet, except for the clock. Caleb stands by the desk, holding a thick manila envelope. Miles sits, bouncing his knee, trying not to stare at it. You're doing that thing again.
What thing?
The silent judging thing, like you're a principal, and I'm holding fireworks behind my back.
Are you holding fireworks behind your back?
No, just... He nods at the envelope. Whatever that is. Caleb turns the envelope in his hands, not opening it.
It's on the inside of the front door. Taped. No name, no stamp.
So someone broke in.
No. The lock wasn't touched. Tape's new. Whoever did it walked in like they belonged here.
Miles swallows. Maybe it's a customer complaint. Dear sir, your vibes are rancid. Blah, blah, blah.
Too heavy for paper.
Okay, so it's a book. How not to be weird to people. Maybe you should read it.
Stop.
Silence. The clock ticks. Sorry. I'm just trying to keep my heart from exciting my body. Caleb's finger slides under the flap. He opens it carefully, like it might bite. He peers inside, then slowly tips it out onto the desk. A key clinks onto the metal surface, old and brass. Attached to it, a small tag with a number written in black marker. That's a key. A key to what? Caleb pulls the rest of the contents out. A Polaroid photo. He places it flat. Miles leans forward as his breath catches. No. That's us. In the photo, Caleb and Miles outside this very same storefront. It's nighttime. Both are looking towards the camera as if startled. Behind them, in the darkness, a vague figure stands half hidden. Just a shoulder and a pale sliver of a face.
Someone's been watching.
When was that taken?
Sign.
Miles squints. The sign reads, closed for renovations. A sign they only had up 2 weeks ago. So recently. Caleb flips over the photo. There's writing.
You forgot something.
We didn't forget anything.
Don't do that.
Do what?
The lie voice.
I don't know what you heard, okay? I told you everything.
Did you?
Caleb slides the tag towards Miles. There's a number on it. 317.
Mean anything to you?
Miles laughs once, sharp and humorless. It's a room number.
Where?
Caleb.
Where?
Silence. Rain taps harder. Miles rubs his hands together like he's trying to erase something. The Marlou Hotel. Downtown. 3rd floor.
Why do you know that?
Because I've been there.
When?
Last month.
For what?
To meet someone.
Who?
Miles's eyes darts to the blinds, to the door, anywhere but Caleb. A man who said he had information.
About what?
About that night. Caleb doesn't react at first. He breathes through his nose, then tightens his grip on the envelope.
We agreed.
I know what we agreed. He stands abruptly, chair scraping. But I couldn't sleep, Caleb. I kept hearing it. I kept seeing... He points towards the Polaroid. And now this. He's right. Someone does know.
You didn't tell me you went digging.
Because you would have stopped me.
Because it's dangerous.
Because you're scared. Caleb's eyes harden.
I'm not scared.
You're terrified. What was his name? Caleb doesn't answer. Caleb, what was his name? Caleb slowly places the envelope down. He looks at the key and then at Miles.
He didn't give you his name.
No?
He gave you mine.
What?
That's why you came back, pale and shaking, and pretending it was food poisoning because someone at the Marlowe knew my name.
No, I didn't say.
You didn't have to.
Caleb taps the shadowy figure in the photo.
Look close.
It's too blurry.
Not the face. The hand.
Miles squints. The figure's hand is visible near their shoulder line. It's holding something small and reflective. Is that a phone?
No.
Caleb's voice drops.
That's a badge clip.
Police?
Or someone who wants us to think that.
There's a heavy beat. The clock ticks. The rain hisses. So what do we do? Caleb pockets the key.
We go to room 317.
Right now?
Whoever left this expects us to.
What if it's a trap?
Then we stop running in circles.
Caleb steps towards the door. Miles hesitates, caught between panic and the need to know. Caleb. Caleb pauses without turning. If what's in that room is proof,
Then we find out who else was there that night.
and if it's not, Caleb looks back. Eyes flat.
Then someone's about to remind us what we forgot.
The door opens. Hallway light spills in like a warning.
Come in.
Miles stares at the Polaroid for one last time and then follows. The door shuts and the clock keeps ticking. End scene. Lovely. Bit of a mystery that we've got there.
That was stressful, wasn't it?
That was. I didn't know what was. I didn't know what was going on there. I was like, what has Miles done?
I started off quite big, and then all of a sudden I saw the stage direction for something like his voice gets low, and I was like, okay, I'm staying down here for the rest of the script.
You
Then
became like a gruff, gritty policeman. You know, like in a murder mystery. Like, whoa.
that's where it's.
No, I like it. I like it.
It was confusing. I felt like I didn't understand what was going on for most of it.
It's a mystery, though, isn't it? There's clearly so Miles has clearly gone off and done something that he shouldn't have done. He's clearly talked to someone who's mysteriously knows something. But like, what have they both? Yeah, what have they both done?
Yeah.
What have they both done?
They've both had to have done something for someone to know something about. And Miles has gone away and
Done something.
talked to someone, and they've said Caleb's name.
Which
and he's freaked out.
So I mean, look, we don't know what's going on, but I think that's part of the mystery. I'd be interested in reading more. I would. I kind of I kind of want to know what they've done.
It was good. I mean, I thought, I felt like I think we did it okay. I think we were all right.
I mean, once again, it helps with having stage directions. It helps with having character profiles, which sometimes you get, sometimes you don't in cold reads. But don't get me wrong, it's useful to have. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I think with that, Lloyd, that brings us to the end of our episode.
All right, awesome.
I know. Look at that. Look at us being professional.
Feels like we've just started.
I know. But no, it was lovely to chat with you. It was lovely. I mean, it was lovely to talk to you about your time on Disney cruises, and I do you know what? I thoroughly enjoyed the historical moments. I'm not gonna lie.
I really enjoyed
I not only enjoyed telling you about it, and
you can tell.
I know, but I really enjoyed researching it actually. So I definitely think we should do more of those.
I do think so. I want to be able to collaborate and talk and expand.
Yeah, maybe we should do one together. Ideas. Maybe
we should go away and find one together, and then we could pitch to everyone.
Yeah.
what the idea would be. Yeah, that would be cool.
No, love it. Love it. Well, thank you very much, dear listener, for coming to Lloyd's podcast with me as a guest.
Thank you very much. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for joining us.
My hanger-on.
That's it. That's it. But no, it's been lovely to talk with you, Lloyd, and of course our lovely audience. And we will see you next time.
You have been listening to Off Script. Off Script is presented by Ben Sharp and Lloyd Mitchell. Edited by Ryan Krogan. Executive producers for Minus Village Productions, Ryan Krogan and Josh Dixon.